Ja Morant yesterday took down a tweet that included an anti-police slang term. Ja apologized, saying it was directed at cops who abuse their power. Ja also thanked the police who have kept him safe in the past and said, quote, "We need good cops to step up and make sure other cops are not abusing their power." So, Shannon, do you like the way that Ja handled this on social media?
I do. I like that he immediately apologized, Skip, because you don't want to do anything to undermine the cause. And you see, that's what happened with Colin Kaepernick. Because people didn't like that he was taking a knee for the anthem, it basically, they said, whatever he's trying to draw attention to, I don't care.
Good point.
The protesters, they're trying to bring attention. Well, they're looting, they're rioting. So whatever they're trying to bring attention to, I don't want to hear. And what Ja has to understand is that he's a very influential young man now.
He is.
If you see all these athletes that's becoming more socially active, that's because they're influential. They know people hear them. They're watching them. So you don't want to do anything to undermine the cause. And I think he understands that slang term that he used. I'm glad he apologized immediately. But there's a guy that's on 1600 Black Lives Matter Avenue that retweeted something the other day, Skip.
He did?
But I forgot he didn't really understand what he was tweeting. He didn't hear what they said.
Talking about white power.
Yeah, yeah. But see, and that's the thing. We will apologize immediately. We don't make any excuses. But the other side do something, because what we're seeing, Skip, is that I'm learning. I heard her say it one time. It says, Skip, it's easier to apologize than to ask for permission. You see, Skip Bayless, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Well, if I had to ask you, you're probably going to tell me no. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and do it, and then I'll apologize for it. But he learned that from the top. But I'm glad, Ja, he's young. I don't make no excuses for what he did, because what he did was wrong.
I got it.
He understands that what he did was wrong.
Okay.
But like he's saying, I want the good cops to call out the bad cops. He said, because the problem that I have, what I'm seeing, is that they want us to judge them by their best, while they judge us by our worst. Because anytime we start talking about police brutality, the first thing they holler about, Skip, is Chicago. Well, that's a few bad apples. That's what y'all tell us. But here's the thing, Skip Bayless. It ain't a few bad apples. It's the seed of the tree.
Yep.
Because you can't say it's a few bad apples, because that's ingrained. Because what we're seeing, even though George Floyd was killed over a month ago, we still see police behaving as like it's normal business.
Yep. Because
they've done that for so long, Skip. That's ingrained in them. They can't even shut it off, even when they know the cameras are on them. Because think about this, Chauvin. Skip, the lady has a camera this far to his face, and he's smug, cavalier, with his hands in his pocket, kneeling like what? And I already know I'm going to get my job back. I already know they're going to put me on desk duty, which you're going to be paying for because it's taxpayer dollars, and I'll get my job back. So, Skip, I am so glad Ja did this. Chalk it up as a learning experience.
Yep.
You know everything that you say, everything that you tweet, repost, gets critiqued. And so you have to be unaccountable, because a retweet is an admission that you're co-signing it.
Yep.
And you have to understand that, Ja. Ja was wrong. He apologized.
Good. So allow me to say up front, the more I hear from Ja Morant, the more I see of Ja Morant, the more I believe in this young man as a man and as a budding superstar in this league. I sense quality to him. I sense depth in him. I sense that this league is about to be in very good hands going forward, in large part because of that young man. He and Zion are going to be the next two pillars to take this league into the next decade, beyond LeBron. I don't know how much longer LeBron will go. But what he did yesterday was highly impressive. Because he did not apologize as in, I back off, I stand down, I give up. He did not do that. No, sir. He did not say that. He basically said, in as many words, I got a little over-emotional, I overreacted, I retweeted something, I reposted something that I didn't completely believe in, that basically said, F the police. Okay, he knew it immediately. I went a little too far with that. But then in his repost of his thoughts, he said all the right things. He said strong things, because, as to your point, he did say, I know there are good cops out there. Well, there are some. There are. There are a lot of bad ones, but there are some good ones too. And he said, I appreciate the way those cops took care of me at Murray State and how they now protect and watch over me as a Memphis Grizzly. Okay, great.
Right.
And then to your point, he said, we need, all caps, the good cops to step up and make sure the other cops are not abusing their power. Boom.
Right.
Perfect.
Right.
Now you're on the right. Now we're all in, right? And then he concludes and reiterates, there have been too many Black lives taken by police that could have been prevented. Okay, so we get that. And so he reiterated his big picture stance, and he drove it home with, I will not stay silent. Well, you better not stay silent because you're a powerful voice in this league. But you need to have some moderation to it.
Right.
You need to have some perspective to it. You need to be forthright and firm in your stance.
Right.
But you can't overreact and go a little too far with a knee-jerk overreaction.
Correct.
Not that he doesn't have that emotion in him, because you do too.
Yes.
But you have to stop. You go this far.
Right.
But you can't lose some credibility by going completely over the edge into F all of them.
Right.
Okay. So it was a beautiful thing that he did yesterday.
Right.
And he said, you may not like me anymore as a basketball player, but I'm not going to stay silent. No. But we're going to love him as a basketball player.
Exactly.
And as a man and as a spokesman for this league. Again, I told you from the start, I love Ja. I don't think he'll be more valuable on the court, you do, than Zion.
Right.
But I think Zion will be a little more valuable on the court. But listen, off the court, whew, this is a force to be reckoned with.
Skip, when you look at it and what he's trying to do, he says, okay, the good cops, it's kind of like friends, Skip. If you have friends that only tell you what you want to hear, then they're complicit in your behavior. Because remember, we criticize a lot of Antonio Brown's friends because they never told Antonio Brown, bro, you wrong. They say, oh, AB, you good. Well, the good cops are just standing by, so you're complicit.
Yep.
If you look at it like this, Skip, let's take a team. If there's a bad apple in the team, what do they try to do? They try to get it out because it'll spoil the whole locker room. They say, we got to get it out of here. But what do the police do if they got a bad apple? They'll keep it there 10, 15, 30 years.
Well, they used to. That's not going to happen anymore.
I believe it when I see it.
Okay.
I believe it when I... But
you could be right, but I feel like we're heading in the right direction.
But Skip, I mean, the guy that killed Rashard Brooks, Skip, he had shot somebody else. He had shot at somebody. He had already shot somebody, shot at somebody. And then he kills this guy. I mean, so now what they do is that they pass the guy that killed Philando Castile, he got a new job, I think, in Texas.
Okay.
So you just pass the trash. So you go from one department, you might just go down the street, Skip, okay, Minneapolis. So now I go to another small town in Minnesota and get another job. Come on, man.
Well, the cop in question in Minneapolis, look at his track record.
Yes.
Did it not dictate his fate? Did it not suggest that he was going to do this?
Exactly.
Right.
And they'll slap on the wrist. Go, we talk. Oh, we had this conversation. Consider this. Come on, man. Come on. Now, yeah, they know it's a problem, Skip. They know it's a problem. But if just imagine, Skip, if you had what the police get is called qualified immunity, is that theoretically they can't sue you. They can sue the state, but they can't sue you. Just imagine if you had qualified immunity as an individual. So no matter what you did, Skip, you couldn't be held responsible for it. Well, hell, ain't no telling what I'm liable to do, knowing that I'm not going to be held responsible for it, culpable for my actions.
Yeah, I hear you. Are there races still in place in the system?
Yes.
You gotta believe there are. I hope that their actions won't be validated going forward by them being exonerated for whatever they do.
Because you heard the judge, Skip, he's talking about talking about if y'all don't stop talking, I'm going to move the trial out of Minneapolis. Okay. Boy, I'm trying to figure out when the last time. When the last time, and that's again, Skip.
I got it.
When can blacks get there? When have you ever had a black person get a trial moved? Skip, have you ever? I've never heard, and I've been trying to read. I've never seen a white defendant get an all-black jury. You ever heard that, Skip?
Nope.
But I heard there's thousands and thousands of times of blacks getting all-white juries.
I have too. And I'm going to reiterate my stance one more time. The screening process to hire policemen needs to change.
Yeah, 21 weeks not long enough, Skip.
You have to screen out the potential racists.
Yeah.
I believe if you test them hard enough, you can reveal, you can expose their mindset.
Yeah. I mean, most countries, Skip, a lot of countries, you got to wait two, 3 years to become a police officer. In America, it's 21 weeks. Come on, man, for real?
For real. But way to go, Ja.
Yep.
Good job.
And Ja, like you guys mentioned, he said, you may see me just as a basketball player and I may lose fans for this, but I will not stay silent. And I think that is becoming more the norm with athletes speaking up and having a voice, even our younger athletes in that generation. We're going to go back to Cam Newton joining. Belichick, is he going to fit into that Patriot way? It's been hard for some athletes in the past. We go there next.